question is, so okay, so that's great. You guys have been involved for some point. You've about worked yourself out of a job. But how do you know, or how's an organization know whether when it's time to essentially kind of maybe pivot from a fractional engagement and bring on somebody full time within the organization that will then take ownership and run the team?
Yeah, so quite often you've got two options at that point, right? So you've either been developing somebody who wants to be on that management track internally, who is, been watching and learning and being coached over time to take on that responsibility.
Mhm.
And sometimes that makes it possible to do things a little bit earlier because that person is often requires less investment than bringing somebody in from the external market,
Absolutely.
and has a shorter learning curve as well. And if they've had the benefit of having the management oversight and structure for all the meetings and they've seen how to run them from working alongside us, then that can happen relatively quicker. If the organization wants to get to a point where they can sustain a 400K salary and bring in somebody external, then they've got to get to that revenue point first, whatever that is, the way that they're calculating it, right? And so they're the two things. They may just have somebody who's naturally on a promotion path, but they just need some executive time
Mhm.
back to work on strategy. So they plug in a fractional VP to take time off of the executive and actually steadily develop the person who's already in the team. And that can be one good way of doing it. And other is to stay with it until they've got a team that's built out and trained. And then they can actually go, here's our systems. It all works. Let's bring in somebody who's going to take it to the next level, to the next few million. And they've done that phase before.
I guess part of your role too, though, you'd be in a position to really kind of help a company identify when that point is,
Yeah.
right?
So ultimately, we want to be able to hand off and replace ourselves and leave behind a really successful team so that we can get on and get to the 1,000 businesses that we want to help by the end of 25, right? It's really not just a case of like, let's just find a couple of clients and stay with them for 5 years, because that doesn't get us to that 1,000 number. We want to help them grow at the pace they want to grow at. And like when they get to that point, it's a really great idea and a really great part of it to be able to go, right, let's bring in somebody and help them get, the business is already running well. They're obviously going to come in and bring their own magic to it. So that's yeah, it's a good fun part of the
Oh, totally.
engagement.
I love making money, but I actually really enjoy doing good work, right? And so when I can leave an organization or kind of move on to the next, it's a good feeling that kind of mission accomplished,
Yeah,
did good work, and also just it's a good referral source for you in the future. But that's a topic for
right.
another day, right?
Yeah.
So you kind
Well,
of
it's,
talked
it's
about
always
team.
a good one.
Yeah, exactly.